Greetings and salutations and welcome to another episode of Fan Central right here on CVM TV. My name is Orville Higgins. Now, if you're into racing locally, you would have heard what happened at Caymanas Park yesterday, where the Heroes Day race meet was severely disrupted because of a decision made by the stewards. It ended with missiles being thrown on the field on disgruntled fans to the point where the Racing Commission decided to abandon the entire race day. We take the opportunity now to have a chat with the chairman of the Jamaica Racing Commission, Mr. Clovis Metcalf, just to talk about that entire incident. Mr. Metcalf, how are you, sir?
Not too bad, Orville. How are you and your listeners?
Not too bad, sir.
And your viewers.
And the viewers. Good to hear from you, Mr. Metcalf. We've heard the story, but in a nutshell, could you tell us what happened to cause the kind of disruption at
Not hearing you so well, but go ahead.
All right. Could you tell us what happened at Caymanas Park yesterday?
It was an unfortunate incident yesterday in that after the second race, there was a disqualification of the winner, and the punters were not happy with the decision. So they started to get hostile. They threw missiles and garbage bins all over the track, in the winner's enclosure, also in the pathway that leads from the parade ring onto the track.
Yes.
And they prevented the horses from coming out for the third race. So they were disgruntled and they vented their frustration.
All right.
Because, in their opinion, the disqualification was not warranted.
Most people...
This after the stewards had reviewed
Yes.
the film and unanimously come to a decision that the winner should have been disqualified.
All right. Most people who I talk to, Mr. Metcalf...
Subsequently,
Hold on. Are you hearing me?
The senior veterinarian, and based on the short window that the horses have for the Windex, for the Lasix,
yes,
to be to be of use. The races 3 and 4, on the advice of the senior vet, were also cancelled.
All right, Mr. Metcalf.
And you made a statement initially that the Racing Commission abandoned the rest of the race meet. That is not correct. On the recommendation of the promoters, the rest of the race meet was abandoned because of the unruly spectators, the toxic nature, and hostile environment would have created possible injury to jockeys, horses, grooms, trainers. So in the best interest of all, they recommended, and we agreed in the Racing Commission, that the rest of the racing should be abandoned.
Mr.
And we
Metcalf,
certainly would allow them going forward the opportunity
yes, but
to have those same races on another card that is a non-race day, or have any of these individual races included in future cards, so that to reduce any negative economic impact or any strain on the stakeholders.
Right. Mr. Metcalf, are you hearing me now? Hello?
I'm not hearing you.
Oh Lord, I'm like I said, I'm practically shouting at this point. Are you hearing anything I'm saying at this point?
Will I see your hands moving, but I am not hearing you.
He's not hearing me, gentlemen in the production room. I'm not sure why. I'm talking as loudly as I can. So clearly there's an audio issue between, because I'm hearing Mr. Metcalf pretty well, but clearly he's not hearing me, and it's a little difficult to do an interview when you're not being heard. So.
Well, unfortunately, I know you're saying something, but I am not hearing you at all.
I don't know. What do we do, gentlemen? Do we take a quick break? All right, we take a break and hope we can sort out the audio issues in just a while. All right, so we're talking to Clovis Metcalf, chairman of the Jamaica Racing Commission. We're having some audio issues. Hopefully that is sorted out now. Mr. Metcalf, can you hear me now?
Bill, you can come a little closer.
Oh, Lord.
No.
Are you hearing me any better now?
Yes, but not good, but here I'm hearing you.
A little better. All right, so most unbiased people who I talked to, Mr. Metcalf, felt that Samantha Fletcher's mount, take a punt, did not interfere with Omar Walker's mount, My Sunshine. They felt, if anything, it was the other way around. In hindsight, did the stewards make the right decision to deprive Samantha Fletcher and her mount take a point? Or take a point?
I couldn't respond to that, Orville. What I can tell you is that on Thursday, the Board of Commissioner has called in all three stewards along with the Director of Racing and the General Manager to discuss the race and tell us why, in their opinion, Samantha Fletcher horse was disqualified.
Yeah.
And in any happenings, Orville, some people agree and some do not agree. But we have to give the stewards the benefit of the doubt to explain in their view what happened, and then the board would make a decision going forward. We have a very experienced board. We have a former chairman of the commission on the board. We have a former minister who has 40, 50 years experience in racing, a big, successful owner, and others. So, we certainly, I've been in racing for about 50 years, so we do have a good understanding of what is expected and what should take place. So that hearing will be on Thursday.
Can the owner or trainer of Samantha Fletcher's mount stage an appeal against the steward's decision? We're not hearing Mr. Metcalf again. Are you hearing me, sir?
Yes, just about. But
I'm asking, can the aggrieved party, including the owner of Take a Punt, appeal the decision of the stewards to deny Samantha Fletcher the
right? Well, in every instance, any aggrieved person, anything to do with racing, if it's a disqualification or inquiry or anything, they have 48 hours to certainly appeal the decision, and we encourage that, because anyone feels that justice has not been served by the steward, appeal the decision. We have a board to look at it. We would prefer that the initial decision, is the best in all interests from the beginning, But if an appeal has to be made, then certainly we encourage that.
Right.
As part of our due process, and we would entertain and listen.
Right.
And
you say
depends on the decision. It will decide what happens to the owner of Take a Punt.
Right. You say that the aggrieved party has 48 hours to launch an appeal. Now, we've had this happen yesterday, so 48 hours has not yet come. But have you received an appeal up to this point?
I couldn't respond to that at this point in time. The races was yesterday, so I would think they have until midday tomorrow. I don't know. I have not inquired of this stewards if any appeal has been lodged. But I would be very surprised if an appeal has not been lodged.
Right. In a case like this, Sir Clovis, if something like this, a punter who would have bought Take a Punt, or a patron, what would have happened to that person's money if the steward's decision is overturned? Has money been paid out for that race yet? That's the question I really should be asking.
Yes, if you're asking the first two races were declared completed, and
money was paid.
The dividends were declared, and that's the end of those two races.
So what if,
based on the steward decision, the dividends would have been paid out in accordance with with the final placing of the stewards.
But here's the question, Mr. Metcalf. The stewards ruled that Radish Roman and his mount won the race, not Samantha Fletcher's mount. You said those monies have been paid. What if...
Oh, Will, I'm struggling. You want to just come? You were doing so well at one point.
All right, I'm asking what happens if the steward's decision is overturned by the commission and Samantha Fletcher's mount take a punt, is now resorted back to being the original winner. What happened to those monies that would have already been paid out?
Well, with those monies that already have been paid out, yeah, that would stand, that decision on the day. It is on the day. So all that have been paid out would be the end. If the decision, and I'm not preempting anything, if the decision then it would be was overturned, then what it means is that the jockey, the owner, the trainer would benefit from the first prize.
But not the punter.
It's unfortunate that those who might have bet on take a punt on the day at the track would still not benefit from any overturn in the decision.
All right, well, that was Mr. Metcalf. We have to leave it at that. Very interesting issue, the punter. And it's something that, let me just say, I feel it's a little bit unfair. If you bet on the winner, there was some mistake. The winner who you bet on is restored to winning, but the punter doesn't benefit. More to come after this break.
To the ZZ Lottery Draw for 8:20 p.m. Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. The one-drop winning number is 9. The hat-trick winning numbers are 6, 0, 8. The four-play winning numbers are 2, 1, 8, 1. The Lucky Day Lotto winning numbers are 18, 1, 9, 7, 20. The fireball is white. Thank you for playing with Izizi.
Our days get a little complex sometimes. Often so many things make sense, yet so many do not. We are being intentional about giving prominence to the big stories in order to clarify and enlighten. Lead Story explains who, what, when, where, why, and how. Lead Story with George Davis, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on CVM TV.
They're Feud's biggest fans.
We love
Y'all gonna have to get some fans.
Join the club.
So I decided to do something special.
But it really matches his skin. Which is scary.
Family Feud.
I look like a tattoo on this big Italian dude's chest.
Make a move Hi everyone, my name is Kurt Dunn.
Greetings from Cali's Cali Yoga.
Hey, it's Robin Morrison, and I am your National Physical Activity Specialist. And it's time to make a move.
Jamaica. Let's get moving again. Season 2 of the Ministry of Health and Wellness Jamaica Move series is here. Join us Wednesdays at 5 a.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on CVM TV. Let's get moving.
Make a move now.
Fan Central Pitside, brought to you by HChem, AIM Financial Corporation, Texaco, and Connex.
All right, welcome back to Fan Central, and at this point we talk some golf. We have Glenn Lawrence, who is the CEO of Couples Hotel Foundation. Mr. Lawrence, how are you, sir?
I'm not bad. Just one correction. I used to be the CEO. I've now retired and happily playing my golf.
Okay, all right. So former CEO will do. Recently, you staged some kind of charity golf tournament. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's a tournament that started in Ocho Rios by actually repeat guests over 20 odd years ago. They started it as a sort of a give back to the Ocho Rios area where they used to travel and stay. And as time went on, we incorporated the Negril side of the tournament. So we have a tournament in January for the 2 Ocho Rios properties, and then in October we have a tournament hosted by the 2 Negril properties, and that's been going on for about 15 years.
Right. So only people who were previous guests at the hotel are able to be a participant in this tournament?
Well, they started it. The brainchild of it was a couple of repeat guests. I think they were here between 20 and 25 times, and they would play golf. And one day they said, let's have a tournament and raise some funds for a local charity.
Yeah.
As time went on, it got bigger. The hotel got more involved. I got more involved, and the tournament got bigger and bigger. And we generally have quite a very big turnout for the January tournament. Negril is always a little bit of a struggle because of its location, being as on the western side of the island, and so it has held its own over the years, even although we've taken a couple of breaks. Obviously, COVID took 2 years out of our tournament, and last year we didn't play because the course wasn't up to scratch, so we had to cancel last year's tournament. But we came back this year, and I think those that played had a good time.
All right. What was the name of, or which charity did you contribute to?
We haven't determined which charities are going to benefit from the funds we've raised. We raised somewhere in the order of 1.5 million for the tournament on Sunday. In the past, we've aided a lot of the local schools, Green Island Primary, Mount Airy Basic School, sorry, Clifton Boys Home, and the Landila School of Special Education, to name a few that we've helped in the past.
Right.
So we've yet to determine what we'll do this year with the funds raised. But it'll go towards education. That's where we've tended to put the funds.
Right. How do you deal with golfers of various abilities? Do they all start at the same hole, or is there some kind of I don't know, maybe for want of a better word, seeding.
Oh, you mean the players?
Yes.
No, it's it's probably one of the more gentler forms of the game. It's a two-man event. Generally, you pick your partner and you come and play.
Oh.
And you pick, you generally will get some of the better players, but because of how the handicap system works, it tends to level out all the players. So you may have national players. We had Sean Morris, who's a former national representative, and then you will have 24 handicaps. Sean is probably a scratch player. So the handicap system sort of breaks them down to the same level. So it's really a friendly tournament. We don't take ourselves too seriously, even though golfers tend to over dramatize their skills.
Yes, I know how it goes. Hold 1 sec for me, Sir Lawrence. We take a break. We're coming right back.
Fan Central Pitside, brought to you by HChem, AIM Financial Corporation, Texaco, and Connex.
Government and public sector, making the systems better to give you the quality and service you deserve. And you deserve it. That's why service excellence is the aim. We take it serious.
Come out to Colonel Cole, Moran Bay on Friday, October 25th for the Government Services Mobile Fair.
That's we are work on. We benefit businesses and Jamaicans. Better systems and services for a better Jamaica.
Get free health checks, apply for or renew your passport, register births, deaths, enroll in PATH and HEART programs, all under one roof.
Save so you can live your best life with your Jane Bank savings. You absolutely can. The time by Jane Bank is 8:30.
Jamaica, get ready! Saturday, October 26th, live on the lawns of Uimona. It's Boys to Men. Singing your favorite hits. Also performing live, Tess and Chin and Lila Ike. Get your tickets now at caribtix.com, Kingston, Jer, and Fontana. Saturday, October 26, 2024. It's Boys to Men, live on the lawns of Uimona. Starts at 8 p.m. Sponsored by Supreme Ventures, Mayberry, Main Event, Island Grill, and Courtly Hospitality Group.
All right, welcome back. Now, a few months ago, we had a female president for the first time here in Jamaica as the head of the Jamaica Table Tennis Association. The lady that is making history is Ingrid Graham. And guess what? She joins us right here on Fan Central. How are you, Ms. Graham?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on your program.
First female president of the JTTA.
In Jamaica, yes.
In Jamaica.
Yes.
How far back have we been having presidents for the Table Tennis Association?
We have been having president as far back as, I think, way back into the 1970s or before, because table tennis has been in Jamaica before 1953, wow. But we became officially a member of the governing body, which is ITTF, in 1953. So we were officially affiliated then, but we have been playing long before then. And
you're the first female president?
Yes.
What is it that made the electorate buck the trend and decide, no, they wanted you?
Well, the on and off that has been going on for years with past administration, not only the latter one that just left the other day, but other administration. And basically we had to come together, we as clubs, an affiliate, to figure out how are we going to get a legal meeting to host the election, because we were like 3.5 years in, waiting for an election, waiting, and it been putting off and off and off. So we were successful in hosting the election in May this year, to which I was elected.
Were there other challenges, or you won en bloc?
No, there were other challenges. So we had Miss Colette Palmer, who was the past treasurer, and we had Mr. Samuel Lamont, who dropped out on the day of election.
I know Samuel quite well.
Yes.
All right. So now that you are the new president, what are some of the, let's say, short-term mandates, or let me just say over the period of your 2-year term? At the end of your 2-year tenure, what would have been some of the things that you would have hoped to accomplish?
Hope to accomplish a key factor of a home for table tennis, for us to have constant training, and as well more development in the players, more sponsorship coming on board for us to assist, and also to have more schools, more clubs, and more parish association coming on board.
Yeah. How do you intend to get those done? They all sound very, very noble ideals. A house for table tennis, more sponsorship, more youngsters getting involved with that kind of thing. How do you intend to get from the page to the stage, as they say?
Well, we have actually started, myself and the new committee, we have started. As you see, we started off with the trials for the under 11 and under 13, to which we went to the Dominican Republic earlier on this year in July, to which we came out with 2 Caribbean champions. So we have an under 11 singles male champion and an under 11 double male champion. So that is one aspect there. We went further to host our one-day rally for the prep and primary, to which it normally go in the form of a league. But because of the time constraint, we couldn't have taken it in a league, so we started there. So we're building as we go along. So after which now we had the 2 youngsters who were the Caribbean champion, to which we had training now for them to go off to the Pan Am's game in the same Dominican Republic, to which we were gifted by Taylor Hall and Chancellor Hall to use the facility as training. So we had up to like 8 hours or more for 5 days a week training. And then we had a summer program that we started, because what we need is constant training and building of the athletes. We need them not to stop, but to continue. Hence, you will see the progress as we go along. Now, after we have ventured from that, we went on to the national championship, to which this is the largest we have ever seen in competition-wise, where we had players coming out both from Canada, US, and also from England to compete. So we had over 71 males competing for the single title of Jamaica national champion.
Interesting.
So we're lacking in a lot of female participation. So hence, that's where we have to, figure out how we're going to go about that, how we're going to get the females back in the sport, and where do we go from there. So in saying so, I had invited a few older players to come on board to see what we have, where we're going, and how can they assist us with their knowledge in building of the sport. So far, we have had one of our longtime female champion, Miss Yvonne Foster. So she's back on board.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, she is. She has started to play in the league. We had a league that was going on between GWOW Jamaica, SUTA Table Tennis, and the JTTA. So there are different strategies that we take in order to build table tennis back as the sport. And as you know, we were on top of the Caribbean back then. So we're hoping to get back there as well. To which Cornwall College came on board as well. They had a 1-week Founders Week tournament, both football and table tennis, because you have Dr. David McBean, who is also with the Mona School of Business, who is a past student of Cornwall College, and
he's also a past was it president at CVM? So I know Dr. McBean quite well.
So he's
Dr. McBean.
Yes, so he's a past player, and which they have come in to render their support, and I can't STF GOA, Mr. Chang, who has been instrumental as well. He is coming on board to assist us in any way that they can, just the same. And of course, we can't leave out OSIL, Mr. White and Mrs. White. They have been there supporting us in every aspect of development, even when there is no way, they help to create a way. So I'm very thankful for all these persons who have assisted.
The way to grow any sport is through children, through youth, grassroots.
Yes.
How do you intend to go about doing that? We are more 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, both genders now are getting involved.
Well, this is how the prep and the primary league comes about. It used to be back then in Mr. Lotian time, it was sponsored by Milo. So it was an exceptional tournament where we had home and away matches. My kids participate in it. So a lot of the players that we have now who are national players are players who come from that product right there, which is a grassroots development of the prep and primary. Hence seeking out, see the development where they are, getting invitation to come to try out for trials as well. We have quite a number of our kids from the Maxfield era. So their coach is Orville, to which 2 of our champions came from there, the Birds. And they had a little dilemma early in the year, which they, overcome it with the help of families, the JTT and other members as well. So the grassroots development is coming basically from putting programs in place with the primary and the prep school through the development of bringing back the league fully come next year. Hopefully we're starting by the end of February to the beginning of March. We'll start the league in the format of how it used to take.
Yes.
So far, we have one sponsor, which is Western Sports, but we're still seeking more sponsors because we want to give back to the kids as well. So we not only target the kids for just for the sporting, but we are very instrumental when it comes to their educational as well. So we try to foster and build and to guide them in the right path.
I remember back in the day when I used to talk to a lot of people who were, table tennis was not necessarily their first sport, but for many people, especially cricketers, table tennis was a sport that was almost their second sport. Tennis players, lawn tennis, that it develops reflex. So you would find a lot of other sports people turning to table tennis in leisure time.
The main factor is the hand-eye coordination. Because I was speaking at the National, I met the president for Westmoreland for cricket. And he's saying that's a key focus for him as well. And when are we coming there to get things going? But we have to do it on a phase-by-phase basis. As you know, where table tennis we're coming from and to where we are now, I think we're in a comfortable space and we're elevating it as best as we can and move forward for development.
A lot of youngsters would want to play table tennis, but in my time in media, the thing with table tennis is that the equipments are specific.
Yes.
It's not like in football, in a little space, you can play football. Cricket, in a little ground, you could play. With tennis, with table tennis, there's a specific table that has to be got. How do you address getting more tables into diverse parts of the island?
All right, we have worked on a contract with Western Sports about getting a rate for schools who are in need of tables. At the moment, we as the association can't offer tables as such. So what we would do when different sporting bodies have their tournament, we will probably most of the time give them the table at a reduced cost because we have to maintain it and we don't have any income because, as you know, we're non-profit. So we have to depend on funding that we get from STF, GOA, our sponsors are come on board. So we try to assist as best as we can. From time to time, we have overseas sponsors coming in and donating equipment to which we give to various schools where we see their potential and their need for that as well.
Right. What does that table tennis table cost these days? That's what me as a layman.
All right. I think you can get one for probably like 100,000 depending, but the higher end ones is gonna cost you like over 300,000 or more for a good quality table to play a competition.
And the rackets and balls, what do these fetch you back?
You have the basic rackets that you can use. You can probably purchase for like $5,000–6,000. Those are the basic rackets. So if you want rackets, they will range from 200 US going up, and that's just the blade. The rubbers, depending, you can probably get a rubber for 8,000. But the more expensive, which is the better ones that they use, is like from 17 to 19,000 going up.
Yeah.
So the equipments are expensive, are extremely expensive. So hence, a lot of persons don't really want to take it on as a sport. So you see where the dilemma is with us most of the time, seeking sponsorship to come on board.
When Jamaica used to be the dominant force in table tennis in the Caribbean, I keep hearing about those days, the Fosters, Maurice Foster, who played cricket, his sister Joy. I think Orville Haslam was his name.
Orville Haslam as well, Dina Baz, Stephen Hilton, and many others to come.
What made the sport so popular then, and why did that interest fall off?
I don't think the interest fall off. The interest has always been there, but based on how society has changed, I think it dwindled down a bit. And with persons coming in, as it is with all sport, with the wrong intention of not building the sport and looking on a different level. So it causes animosity within a sport. So it causes the rift, the fight. So hence, once you have that, it's going to be torn apart.
I was about to ask you that. I was hoping I didn't want to spring it on you, but it's something that we can't deny.
You can't deny it.
That table tennis over the years is full of too much, what's the Jamaican word? Too much cas.
Yes.
Too much bickering.
Well, that is then. Now it's different.
You're saying that under your tenure, all of that will change, is changing?
Well, it has changed. So far, we have not had any fuss as such about what goes on. Myself and the committee, whenever we have an issue or we need to discuss, it's done on a committee level. Some decision that I can make on my own or with my GenSec, but most decision we take it to the members. We have a managing council. So we don't just preempt and do things on our own, and we discuss. We're going to disagree, but we must come to an amicable solution as to where we go with it.
Do you find it difficult to work with? I tell you what, we have to close it. We really have to run. Good luck in your presidency.
Thank you very much.
I hope you achieve all the things you want to achieve.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we take a break. We talk some cricket when we come back.
Protecting Jamaica's borders is a key priority for the Jamaica Customs Agency. The JCA will remain vigilant and resolute in effectively fulfilling this mandate. The time brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
8:45.
Football, September 7 to December 14 on CVM TV.
Schoolboy Football, brought to you by HChem, AIM Financial Services, Texaco, and Connix. Fan Central Pitside, brought to you by HChem, AIM Financial Corporation, Texaco, and Connix.
Our days get a little complex sometimes. Often so many things make sense, yet so many do not. We are being intentional about giving prominence to the big stories in order to clarify and enlighten. Lead Story explains who, what, when, where, why, and how. Lead Story with George Davis, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on CVM TV.
All right, welcome back to Fan Central. Now the national the national 50 overs final is at Sabina Park this Saturday. The two best teams in Jamaica this season, Kingston and St. Elizabeth. We have both captains to have a quick chat about it. Akeem Fraser is with us in studio. Marquino Minley is online. We start with Marquino. Are you hearing us now?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Good night.
All right, yeah, man, there's the boss. And I have Akeem in studio. Marquino, would you say that Kingston start favourites? Let me ask a troublesome question going into what should be an interesting final.
If Kingston is favourite?
Yes. Playing at home
I wouldn't say
with some national players, auntie.
Well, Kingston have some good players, but we do not really play any games. We have a brand of cricket that we play this year, and that is fearless cricket. So we can't control who Kingston really play on Saturdays. We're just going to play fearless cricket. Right.
The thing with St. Elizabeth, they have a lot of very experienced cricketers. The Troy Powells, the Carl Wrights, names like those. The Damien Banks, we know him as Daddy Man. Is that experience of people who have been playing a long time part of the reason why St. Elizabeth keep getting deep into tournaments?
Yes, definitely. We have all those senior players. Whenever we call on them, they deliver. So it's no different on Saturday.
All right. Akeem Fraser, I'm going to ask the same question. Does Kingston start favourites?
I would not like to say that we start as favourites, but if you probably look at the teams on paper, especially with the number of players that we have representing the Scorpions, you could argue and say that, yes.
Yeah. Some of the star names that will be there. Brad Barnes, who is part of the current Jamaica one-day team, he'll be playing. Kurt McKenzie will be playing as well. Which other Jamaica or Scorpion player?
We'll have
Odin
Smith as well. We will also have Romain Morris. And then we'll have Patrick Harty Jr. and myself, Javon Buchanan.
We're talking about 6 or 7 people who have represented Jamaica or who are representing Jamaica in recent times. The fact that the game will be at Sabina Park, which is Kingston's home ground, does that give you an advantage?
We're definitely comfortable playing there. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a big advantage. All the surfaces out on the square play differently. Not sure which one we'll get as yet, but I think it will be an even contest, especially with the team that St. Elizabeth has.
Right. Marquino, does Sabina Park present an advantage to Kingston? Or it's because it's the best cricket venue, you're happy to take them on there?
Well, it's the best cricket venue. We don't really control the game play. As I said earlier, we come in to play fearless cricket. So wherever I play, we come in to just play fearless cricket. And our guys just come to the party on Saturday.
Right. Where would you say is the strength of your team, Marquino? Where do you feel that the contest may very well be decided?
Well, it is a very balanced team. We have experience in the batting, experience in the bowling, and every player has an important role to play. So just Saturday, everybody just come to the party and execute their skills.
Right. In the semi-final, I think you got some wickets, McCarthy got some wickets, or McCarthy, in our game that was decided because you had the better run rate. Wasn't a semi-final, but we understand how that goes. What would you say about your season? Not just your individual season, but what kind of, how would you describe St. Elizabeth's season up until this point?
Well, our season, we didn't start out the way we want to start out, but as the senior players get available and start playing for us in the back end, we start to play some good quality cricket.
Yeah. What would be the thing that you're most happy with your team? And I don't know if you want to give any secrets away to Kingston, but what area do you think you must improve come this final?
I can lose the question there just now.
All right. What is it as captain you are most happy with your team? And what is the area that you feel you need to improve on? That is if you want to say it in front of the other skipper.
Well, to be honest, we're playing good cricket all seasons. That's why we're in the finals. So there's nothing to improve on at this moment.
Okay. I'm going to ask you that, Akeem. What area are you happiest with and what area you say, no, we will have to improve there?
Well, for me, it's two things. I'm happy that we've batted the allotted overs almost all of the games. I think only 2 games that we haven't batted the allotted 50. And then secondly, that we have 4 players in the Scorpions team. That's something to be proud of. You know that at the end of the day, people probably look at these competitions and it's only about winning and winning the title. But ultimately, it's about developing players for not only the Scorpions, but hopefully the West Indies team as well. So that's something to be proud of.
Indeed. Marquino, what about you? Your own season. How has the 50 over tournament gone for you as an individual?
To be fair, it's a decent season. I get my best figure in the semi-final. I got 4 for 30. Bowling some decent spell coming up to the semi-final. So hopefully in the final now I can produce my best spell. And that's it.
Usually fast bowlers, they say, make reluctant captains. Cricket history is full of captains who are batsmen as opposed to fast bowlers. Does it help with your bowling, or sometimes there's some pressure and you allow other senior players, or it doesn't matter? Captaincy and being the top bowler in your team come together well.
I think captaincy helped my game going forward. I like responsibility and it helped me as a player to move forward. You don't feel the pressure out here because I've seen players who kind of see things earlier than me and they pinpoint it out to me.
Yeah. What does it mean for Kingston to win this one?
It would mean a lot for us. We spoke earlier this year about, breaking the trophy drought. We had gone 23 years without winning a title. And we got over that hurdle, won the Senior Cup. So I told the team that one could be the start of, a dynasty pretty much. Yeah. So we got one out the way. It would mean a lot for us to get the double.
It's 23 years since you haven't won the one-day title?
No, it was 23 years since we had won a senior title.
A senior title. When was the last time you won the one-day title?
I could not tell you.
So not since you started playing?
No.
How long are you playing for Kingston now?
I've been playing for Kingston, the senior team, since 2010.
So we're talking at least 14 years since you haven't won the one-day title. Marquino, when was the last time St. Elizabeth winning it? If I remember, it was not so long ago.
Well, we won the T20 not so long ago, but I can't remember when last.
Oh, it was the T20.
Maybe it's the first time we're at the 50 over final right now.
Come again?
Maybe it is the first time we're at the 50 over final, if I can recall.
So it's the 20 overs title that you won. When was this?
We won T20. Yeah, we won T20. Yeah.
Which year was that? Was it last year?
No,
the
last
year before.
I can't remember.
22.
I think, yeah.
All right. Marquino remembers it well. He says it was 2022. But the bulk of that team that played in that 2022 final would be taking the field for you on Saturday.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. So guess what we have, people? We have the reigning Senior Cup champions, the 2022 T20 champions, and they're coming together for the 50 overs title. It should be an interesting thing. Does the fact that you are a great T20 team help with your 50 overs cricket? Does that mean that you'll play probably a little bit more positive than some other teams?
Well, with our team, we play a lot of cricket in St. Elizabeth, so we have a brand that is fearless. So in the T20, team fear us, and it's no different in 50 over.
Yeah, that is one of the things that St. Elizabeth teams have. They come out, guns blazing, as they say.
Definitely.
But you have some players who are good at that as well. So it should be a really, really good contest. Let me say something, Marquino. I don't even want to ask Akeem, but one of the things that them town teams always say is that the countryman will beat up ball if it's pace. But once it's spin, you guys go and struggle. Is there any truth to that? What do you say to those who say, let's bowl some spin, man, them countryman they can't manage? What say you?
Well, I don't really have much elaborate on that. Let's just see what's going on Saturday, because Kingston have some quality spin bowlers, so we see how they go about it on Saturday.
All right. Akeem, I see Akeem laughing. Akeem is a spinner too, and he also has Patrick Harty. Which other spinner? Barnes.
Yes.
Brad Barnes. So it's 3 spinners at least who will be all players who have played at the national level. So it should be fun. I'm against
so let us see if we're going to get a spinner surface or a fast bowling surface on Saturday. Home advantage to kick the
Yeah, do you dictate what the pitch is?
No, we don't have any control over that. It's in the hands of the JCA. It's turned over to them.
Oh, so it's the JCA determined?
Yeah, they host the game. It's just
so it's not at Kingston?
Yeah, it's not a Kingston home game.
At Savannah Park.
Yeah.
Well, hear what? I must tell you, Hakeem, I have his country I come from. So I'm always leaning towards a rural team once they get to the final. But at the end of the day, it's cricket. We love it. We hope to see a great game. At the end of the day, we can't ask for more than that. You're bringing some spectators with you, Marquino?
Surely. All of St. Louis coming. It's going to be a packed stadium.
It's going to be a packed Savannah Park.
Exciting games at them.
Yeah, man, I can tell. And what kind of support are you expecting?
Yeah, we'll definitely have the support. We're going to be at home. We have the members coming out and family and friends, other players. So should be a big one.
10 o'clock start to the game.
9:30.
It's 9:30. Same thing. 9:30 start. So people, wherever you are, if you want a good cricket match, Kingston versus St. Elizabeth is always a good contest. And both captains are sounding pretty confident that it should be a great game. Marquino, any last words where you want to say directly to Hakeem, and then I'll have him say it back directly to you. He's in the studio with me. Any words to the Kingston skipper?
Good luck on Saturday, Fraser.
Are you?
Good luck, Minley. Good luck, Nazi. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, don't know each other well? Is it that, I know one is from St. Elizabeth, but I'm sure you would have played against each other and know each other well. Good luck to both of you. Big up Marquino. Thanks for joining us. And of course, Hakeem, you're coming regularly into the studio now.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
All right, gentlemen. Yeah, I can tell you that wouldn't miss me for the world. So see you at Savannah Park. Hope you'll be there as well. Thanks to Hakeem and to Marquino Medley for being a part of this. Thanks to the team for putting this one together. And join us next week, same time, same place. God's willing, we should be back to do it all over again. The name is Orville Higgins. So long.